Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. 1923's Jack Dutton makes Yellowstone history in an unwanted way. Jack Dutton's Darren Man, shocking death in 1923 Season 2's penultimate episode, means Jack is on track to make unwanted Yellowstone history in 1923 Season 2's finale. Jack was among 7 1923 characters who were killed off in 1923 Season 2, Episode 6, The Mountain Teeth of Monsters. Jack was gunned down by men loyal to Banner Creighton, Jerome Flynn, and the young Dutton's body was dragged off into the forest, widowing his pregnant wife, Elizabeth Strafford, Michelle Randolph. As 1923 Season 2 careens toward its endgame, Spencer Dutton's Brandon Sklenar imminent arrival in Montana is anticipated by his uncle, Jacob Dutton, Harrison Ford, and feared by their enemy, Donald Whitfield, Timothy Dalton. Jack was placed in charge of guarding the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, but he foolishly left his post to join Jacob in case he and Spencer are attacked. But Jack was ambushed by Banner's men, becoming the second Dutton shot to death in 1923. And we know where Jack's corpse is going. If Banner Creighton's men successfully followed Donald Whitfield's orders, Jack Dutton becomes the first ever Dutton to take a one-way ride on what will become known in Yellowstone as the train station. 1923 Season 2 revealed the origin of the train station. It was Whitfield who realized an unpopulated and lawless 100-mile radius between Montana and Wyoming is the perfect place to dispose of enemies. Donald demanded that the future train station be the final resting place of the Duttons. Jack Dutton getting dumped in the infamous train station in 1923 Season 2's finale would make him the first of the Duttons to suffer that ignoble fate. Jack would also only be the second victim of the train station. The train station's first victim is Christy Kaylin Rice, a sex worker who was tortured to death by Donald Whitfield's sociopathic paramour, Lindy Madison Elise Rogers. Tragically, Jack sent to the train station means he won't be buried in the Dutton's family graveyard. Jack is potentially the first Dutton sent to the train station, but he won't be the last. Although Yellowstone is set a century after 1923, Yellowstone Season 5 and series finale, Life is a Promise, saw Jamie Dutton, Wes Bentley, get sent to the train station. Audiences saw Jamie take a one-way ride down the gorge thanks to Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, and Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, before Jack Dutton, but chronologically, Jamie is the most recent Dutton to be the train station's victim. However, there's a chance the Duttons could intercept Jack's body before Banner Creighton's men can send him to the train station in 1923 Season 2 finale. In that case, Jack could be buried with the other Duttons, and Jamie would be the only known Dutton sent to the train station. There's also the fact that Jamie is not a Dutton by blood to consider. Jamie was born Michael Randall and was adopted by John Dutton i.e. Kevin Costner, so he was never a true Dutton, as Beth gleefully liked to remind Jamie. The suddenness of Jack Dutton's death means that by the end of 1923 Season 2, Episode 6, none of his family knows Jack is gone. Jacob is in Livingston, Montana, awaiting Spencer's train to arrive, while Cara Dutton, Helen Mirren, and Elizabeth Strafford are home at the Dutton Lodge. However, Cara knows Jack sped off to rendezvous with Jacob, and she may have sent one of the Dutton's cowboys after Jack. But at some point in 1923 Season 2's finale, the Duttons will learn that Jack was murdered on Donald Whitfield's orders. Interestingly, going into 1923 Season 2's finale, the Duttons also have yet to learn about the train station. Perhaps tracking Jack to the Montana and Wyoming border is how the Dutton family discovers and adopts the gorge as their personal waste disposal unit. How Elizabeth Strafford reacts to Jack's death is another tragic moment to come in 1923 Season 2's final episode. By the time 1923 is over, the Dutton's path will lead to the train station and audiences will learn whether Jack Dutton is the first of his family to be its victim. Jack Dutton was never supposed to be the most memorable name in Yellowstone lore. In a lineage that includes the iron-willed James Dutton, 1883 *, the relentless Jacob Dutton, 1923 *, and the modern-day force of nature John Dutton i.e. Yellowstone Jack's story was meant to be one of perseverance and duty. Instead, he etched his name into the ranch's history in a way no Dutton would ever desire. ###*******, the rise of Jack Dutton ****. Jack Dutton, played by Darren Mann in ***1923 ***, was a young cowboy full of fire, eager to step into the boots of his predecessors. Unlike Jacob Dutton, who led the ranch with the weight of the world on his shoulders, or Spencer Dutton, whose experiences in Africa made him a battle-hardened soldier, Jack was different. He was young, ambitious, and deeply in love with Elizabeth Strafford, whose devotion to him was unwavering. Jack represented the future of the Dutton dynasty. His optimism stood in stark contrast to the bleak realities of 1923, an era of drought, economic hardship, and the ever-looming threat of land-hungry enemies. Where others saw despair, Jack saw hope. Where Jacob prepared for war, Jack dreamed of love and prosperity. But fate had other plans. ###*****, the tragedy that defined him ****. No Dutton walks through life unscathed, but Jack's burden was one of historic proportions. In a franchise where bloodshed is a currency and survival is never guaranteed, Jack became the first Dutton to truly fail in protecting his own. The Yellowstone Ranch had endured countless battles, but Jack's misstep allowed its most vulnerable moment. Jack's idealism made him reckless. His belief that love could shield him from the darkness around him led to the most devastating moment in ***1923 ***, the ambush that nearly wiped out his family. While Spencer was away, far from Montana's treacherous borders, Jack found himself on the front lines of a conflict he underestimated. He believed that resolve alone could carry him through. It was a fatal miscalculation. The ambush that saw Elizabeth shot and Jacob gravely wounded was not just an attack on the Duttons, it was a humiliation. Jack, the supposed next in line, had allowed his family to be caught off guard. In Yellowstone history, there have been betrayals, losses, and misfortunes, but never had a Dutton been so thoroughly outmaneuvered when it mattered most. ###*****, a stain on the Dutton legacy ****. Jack's failure to protect Jacob and Elizabeth altered the course of the Dutton lineage. Jacob, who had fought so hard to keep the family together, was left weakened and unsure if the ranch could withstand another attack. Elizabeth, the love of Jack's life, nearly died in his arms, a reminder that love alone could not protect them. The Yellowstone franchise thrives on the strength of its patriarchs, but Jack's story was one of lessons learned too late. He was not like Spencer, who could fight off lions and mercenaries. He was not like John Dutton i.e., who would rather wage war than surrender an inch of land. Jack's chapter in Yellowstone history was one of youth crashing against reality, an example of how not every Dutton rises to meet the challenge before them. ###****, the unwanted legacy ****. As ***1923 unfolds, Jack's place in the family's mythology becomes clearer. He is not a legend like James or Jacob. He is not a warrior like Spencer. Instead, he is a cautionary tale. The ranch, for all its grandeur, is built on sacrifice and cunning, and Jack, for all his love and dreams, lacked the ruthlessness to survive in a world that demands it. His story, though tragic, is crucial. Every family has its moment of weakness, and for the Duttons, It was Jack's inability to see the world as it truly was. In the end, Jack Dutton made history in a way no Dutton would ever want, as the man who let his guard down, who allowed the family to bleed when they could least afford it. He was the Dutton who learned too late that survival comes at a cost. And in **Yellowstone** history, that cost is always paid in blood.